stitched like seams, pull the threads, unravel dreams. Eyes wide open, can't unsee chains they wrapped in secrecy. Freedom whispers loud and bold. Feel the heat, this truth ain't cold. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame. Sparks ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold. Cloaks in shadows, puppet strings, whisper lies, the devil sings. But the rabbit digs too deep, unveils secrets meant to keep. Eyes like daggers cut the dark, blazing trails ignite the spark. We're the thunder in the storm, breaking free from narrow norm. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame.
Rippin' Rabbit Hole is a community-driven radio. At times the community comments may reveal prejudices and other beliefs that we or our sponsors do not condone. Views or opinions expressed by the community, callers, or guests, are those of the individual speaking and do not represent the views or opinions of this site. Rippin' Common Sense content is intended for mature audiences only. Enjoy.
Ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold. Eyes like daggers cut the dark, blazing trails ignite the spark. We're the thunder in the storm, breaking free from their old norm. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame. Sparks ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold.
Good evening and welcome to Tin Hat Thursday. It is Thursday, June 18th, 2026. I am Screech Scott,
And I'm Red.
and we're coming to you live from our perch high above the western shores of a beautiful sunny Lake Michigan, where we will be screaming 360 degrees of truth. We want to thank you for joining us on Tin Hat Thursday and hope that you will join us right here on Rippin' Common Sense Radio each and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. If you are listening on Rumble or over on YouTube, we invite you to hop on over to rippinrabbithole.com and join the rest of Tin Hat Nation in the VIP Backstage Lounge. The Backstage Lounge is free and always will be. Go to rippinrabbithole.com, click on the Backstage 24/7 Lounge in the taskbar, scroll down a bit until you see the Backstage Lounge, and click on the big red Enter Now button. Allow the permissives, put in your name, and join the fun. Just remember to keep yourself muted until the show ends. Or when we call on you, if you raise your hand and you want to speak, because we are going to open the mics tonight, Red.
Yes, we are.
Listen to the show and then hang around for some spirited discussion with others. The Backstage Lounge is a great place to meet new friends and talk about anything that you want to. And I can speak from experience when I say that you will often find screech owls deep into the early AM hours. That is rippinrabbithole.com. RIPPONRABBITHOLE.com. And Red, I think you put the links in the chats
Yes,
on
I
both
did.
Rumble and YouTube.
Yes, I did. Click
So-
on the link and it'll bring you right on over.
If anybody wants to hop on over to Rippin' Rabbit Hole and join Michelle, Nan, Jenny, Harry T-Rex, Studio B, the Rippin' Rabbit, or Screech Owl Scott in the Backstage Lounge, they can click on that link and come right back.
I think I need some brakes on my chair.
Are you rolling toward me?
Yes, I keep rolling forward.
Oh, well. So, Folks, I'm going to be straight up with you right now because it has been a day from
Oh
hell
my
almost
gosh.
here. Our internet has been going in and out, in and out, in and out all day long, and we're going to try and get through the show.
To be fair, I've seen some crews out working, so
We're hopeful that we can make it. That would be why if we go dark, that we can get through the next hour.
today.
Yeah,
So.
I think somebody was digging without calling the diggers hotline, maybe, or something. I don't know
I don't
what
know what
happened,
they were
but
doing.
it's been a mess here
We should have
today and
asked.
frustrating because we're trying to get things done. We're trying to prep for a show. I'm trying to get a promo written for the show and I get it sent off to AJ and I said, just keep your fingers crossed, boss, that we can cross boss. I had a little rhyme there. But we've got a very light crowd in the backstage and it's that time of the year, Red. It's summertime, it's June 18th.
Yeah, it
People are
is. And today was very nice out, so
people
I thought
are
it
out
was anyway.
out doing their summer thing, so we're going to hope that a lot of people will tune in and listen on demand.
And face it, most of us around the country, like, I don't know, maybe I should say most of us in the Midwest, have very limited nice days throughout the year. So when there is nice days,
Right,
take advantage of
we've
it.
only got like 5 strong months where it's even like
Oh,
hoodie
heck, I was going to say 3.
well, three where I can wear my Speedo, but five
Yeah.
where we can slip into a hoodie and enjoy the fire nights. And
You wear your shorts almost all year round when you get a chance. So
I do that, Red.
welcome in, Wetzel.
Wetzel's in the
Wetzel
house.
joined us tonight.
Before we jump into tonight's show, Red, and a
Mhm.
discussion about the Iran conflict,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let our listeners know that, of course, we are in what some people refer to as Pride Month. I don't celebrate Pride Month. For me, it's June. It's June Dairy Month here in Wisconsin,
Absolutely.
and I wear my pride in the way of the American flag. But some people are celebrating Pride Month, and I just read before we went on air that there's a minor league baseball team
Mm-hmm.
out east who actually forfeited their game tonight because some of the players refused to wear, I don't know, some kind of a rainbow colored or uniform. So
Right.
tip my hat to them for standing up. There's just no place.
There's one major league team, and I cannot remember for the life of me which one it was, that refuses to wear a patch or participate in the Pride Night, Pride Month, whatever. I wish I could remember which one it was.
It's just crazy. I don't even have a problem, I guess, giving them a day, but this idea that they're given a month when soldiers are given a day.
I was just going to say,
Uh,
where's Veterans Month? Where's Military Month? Where's active duty month? Where's anything like that that means something? Where is um, Bible month? Or, I'm going way out there, I know, but come
but I
on.
agree. It's just sickening, and there's no place for it in professional sports. And
No,
I
they're
I
not.
applaud any of the players that say, I'm not going to partake in this. It's ridiculous.
And somebody sent me a video shortly before the show, and it was showing, mind you, a lot of these places around the country will allow trans into what they identify with bathroom. So a man can go in a woman's bathroom and vice versa. So somebody sent me a video of a gentleman in the women's bathroom with his 2 young children. They happened to be girls. And somebody was calling the police on him because he was in the women's bathroom taking his 2 daughters to the bathroom and washing their hands.
And I didn't. You showed me the video, Red. I'm not sure. There was a female attendant there? Was she like guarding the door because
I think
he
so.
was in there with his daughters?
I think so.
And
Because when the guy on the phone calling the police walked, kind of stepped out of the doorway, she closed the door and she goes, "I am so sorry," and was handing them the towels to wash their hands.
and
or
here was a
finish drying
gentleman who
up their
was
hands.
and he had clearly a Christian because he had a cross on his shirt.
And it was
he
because his travel mate, I can't remember if he said it was his wife, his mother, or what. She was in like not a wheelchair. It was like those wheelchairs where you sit down and you use your feet to move.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like what my mom uses.
Like a walker kind of a thing, or the
Walker,
seat.
but you sit. Yeah, those things. She was sitting in that, and he was complaining because she had to go to the bathroom right now and couldn't go in there because he was in there. Well, you know what? I would take my daughters into the,
And
if it was a guy
and
or my,
the father explained it by saying,
yeah,
my daughters use the ladies' restroom because they're ladies.
yes. And he
And
said, we're on a road trip. And the guy that was on the phone with the police said, well, we're on a road trip too. Well, you know what? You have to blame these places that allow the opposite sex into those bathrooms, in my opinion. Well, you could have just had her bring them in. Well, why would I let a perfect stranger bring my children into the bathroom?
nobody in their right mind in this day and age
No.
would let a stranger take their children to the bathroom.
Well, you could have stood at the door. So then he exits the restroom and he went and stood in front of this gentleman that was still on the phone trying to get the police there, and in front of the one that was in the chair. And he's like, make sure you tell him how or what I'm wearing. And he wasn't backing down. He was so calm. And mind you, this father looked like he was maybe late 20s, early 30s. So he was fairly young to me. And he kept his cool the whole time. But his poor daughters were so scared. You could see the fear in their eyes.
In any event, they used the restroom, and you had some idiot there with his phone who.
Yep. So
And
my point I guess I'm trying to get at is you can have these idiots that want to identify as XYZ, and they're allowed to be in those bathrooms, and you can't say a dang thing. But you have a father bringing in his two young daughters, and I would have to say the daughters were maybe 4 and 5 years old, and all of a sudden you get the cops called on you.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Had that young father been identifying as a woman, the police would have said, well, he has the right to use the restroom because he's identifying as a woman. But
And I will also say, did you hear about the Madison man arrested this morning at UW Health? He was following female employees into the bathroom and tried to stab them. UW Health bathroom policies are based on gender identity versus biological sex. So that's exactly why I say you cannot allow this to happen, because they're going to claim they are whatever and get into the bathroom and do nefarious things. So anyway.
Well, I know I'm not going to put up with that crap if I'm
absolutely not.
And I guess, to hear my good friend Harry talk about civil disobedience, I guess that's where I would be a little disobedient, because if I run across it where you're in a restroom and one of these nutcases is going to go in there and use a restroom, I'm going to intervene, and it might mean law enforcement's called, but I won't.
So be it.
I'm not playing the game.
Well, and I know you came home and said, I hope you know that I might lose my job because they put you through that little, what was it, sensitivity training or something?
Supervisor's training where I had to learn how to be tolerant of all
and you
crap.
told them right where to go. So I'm like, good for you.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, I don't play the game.
Now that we've blabbed on about that.
And Wetzel said he should have been arrested for videotaping in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Good point, Wetzel. Very good point, and I didn't.
Good point. But to be fair, all he was doing was washing his hands at that point. And he turned it on.
There were two little girls in his video.
Yeah, but he turned on the video. You can see at the beginning, he turned it on and set it down because that guy was in the doorway calling the cops.
In any event. Oh, I was thinking the other guy.
Oh, no. No, it was the dad.
Okay.
The dad was
videotaping. Right, well, then we stand corrected. And Harry says it was a beautiful day today, and it was a beautiful day today. In between the internet working, I did have the opportunity, except for, so folks in our house, and Red was a little upset with me today. We're going to get into our topic here, but I promise. But
what was I
we don't have a screen door on our front door.
Oh, The
But we
flies.
have one of those fancy magnetic uh,
Yeah.
enclosures that
Don't always go back
are
together
supposed
like
to
they're supposed
prevent
to.
the flies and the insects from flying in, and they work when the magnets stick to each other. But I was in and out, in and out, and in and out, and there's a couple pesky flies in the house right now,
Yeah, so if you hear a thud, it's because we tried to swat one.
and they're irritating as hell. And I've got my little battery operated tennis racket fly swatter, and they fry in there. So if anybody from PETA's listening, they're probably going to be upset because I like to sizzle them on my tennis racket.
That
So
was a loud one earlier.
it
Anyway,
was. Yeah, enough.
because I was like, what the heck was that? And I look over at him, and he's got the electric fly swatter in
and
his
the
hand. I'm like,
evil
oh,
and the evil look on my face.
yeah, you're looking at it like, hey, it worked.
So
Anyway,
so Red, we had a listener who hasn't joined us yet, and I'm hoping he will. Uh, Talk to him today, and he said, this is a longtime listener, and he said, we should talk
this is
about
a great
we should
topic.
we should talk about the war in Iran with the memorandum of what's it being called,
I
of
don't,
understanding, the
oh, yeah.
memorandum of understanding that has brought some peace to the region, at least temporarily. I think they have like a 60-day window now to negotiate a final settlement. But
And I've seen some headlines where Israel claims that they are not going to follow this agreement, peace deal, whatever they want to call it, and is claims that they're going to defend themselves at any cost. Well, if Iran's not doing anything, how are you supposed to defend yourself? Defend it against what? So
well,
that remains to be seen about how that will go too.
it does, and I look back, and I think we have to understand what was the objective with the Iran war when this first started. What was the reason behind it?
Okay, I
And
will be honest, I haven't followed it very closely. But
I
from
know
what I
you've
understand,
been trusting the plan
yeah,
because that's what you do,
yep.
right? And I tend to be a little bit more. I want to trust the plan.
But you're more
I'm a little
skeptical.
skeptical
Yeah.
of things, but
But anyway,
but
from what I
we heard
understand, they wanted to make sure that they did not have a nuclear weapon.
right, and I think that was President Trump, like right from the jump, was Iran will not have the ability to strike us with nuclear weapons.
Because if I remember correctly, the rumor was that they had the capability of not only they were close to getting the nuclear weapon, but also a missile to be able to carry it far enough to hit us.
Right.
And I don't remember what they called specifically at that time.
I think when I think back to that time, and if anybody has any thoughts, please raise your hand and jump in on the conversation.
Absolutely.
But I think first and foremost it was preventing Iran from having nuclear weapons.
Right.
I think you can also look at reducing Iran's ability to fire ballistic missiles.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Strait of Hormuz was open prior to the war, but
Yes,
it
it
was,
was.
as we entered into this war, it was also to make sure that the Strait of Hormuz
Stayed
remained
open.
open.
Yep.
Uh,
Safely open.
I think you can look at just deterrence against future attacks and reduce the threat posed by Iranian-backed proxy groups too. I think all of that, kind of in a nutshell, if I were to think of what were the objectives, and other than hearing President Trump saying, Iran will not have nuclear weapons,
Mm-hmm.
I never saw like a broken down list of what the reasoning was.
No, I
But-
didn't either.
But we do know that since the Iran war broke out, and nobody, I tried to research it, read to find out how much money we've spent.
Well, before that though, I think they also wanted a regime change. I don't know if that was their ultimate goal.
I don't
but
know if Trump would say that. Maybe he would, knowing President Trump. And I think when you're talking about the Ayatollah and all the problems that have been created
And the Ayatollah was killed February 28th, 2026. And the interim um, new leader is supposed to be his son, and I'm not even going to bother trying to say that name. But he has not, well, he was officially named as the supreme leader, the new one, March 8th of 2026. However, rumor is that he was injured severely during that same missile strike because he has not made a public appearance since then. So whether he's alive or not, I don't know.
So when we talk about the war, and okay, so maybe these were the objectives, and I don't know if anybody's got any other ideas of what the objectives were. Please chime in. But that's what I think of. I think of that nuclear threat, and when I think about the capabilities of a country like Iran firing nukes at us,
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with gas prices, fuel prices going up
Yes.
a little bit in the short term,
Yes.
if it meant that we were going to be safe from a nuclear attack by Ayatollah Khomeini,
Correct.
or whomever might be the leader of Iran
But at the
any
same
given moment.
time, when you talk about gas prices, I believe, and I haven't read it anywhere by all means, this is just my opinion, that I think also goes back to why we also have control over Venezuela. So the gas prices would not go down. And according to a few speeches that I've heard Trump do since the start of the war, we have plenty of fuel. We have plenty of oil. We're selling it to other countries. I think that these the gas companies, they want to kind of stick it to Trump because they're not able to basically dictate the price of oil the way they used to.
See,
If that makes sense of how I'm trying to say it.
I hear different things, and you're relying on different sources, and you're trusting the plan.
Yep.
But I'm hearing reports, at least recently, that our oil reserves were at a dangerously low point.
But I also, like I said, seen Trump say or heard Trump say in one of his press conferences that the oil reserves are just fine. They're back stocked up. They've been since stocked up. And that was before the war.
Maybe before the war, but
No, they stocked up before
I would
the war.
agree that exports are at an all-time high. But for the person, and I'm looking at, even I don't that I'm paying. It's come down a little bit now, but
Oh,
I
yeah, it's
didn't
come down a
like it
lot.
when it was, in the $4 range, $4.50, and it has continued now to where the cost of our groceries have gone up a great deal. Although eggs are much more reasonable now, because whatever was causing the eggs to be at $5 a dozen, now instead of paying $2 for gas and $5 for eggs, it's just the opposite now. But
Yep.
but food in general has gone up, along with a lot of our other goods, and
Which makes sense because the trucks that deliver the goods, they have to pay more in fuel. They're not going to take a cut, so they're going to raise the prices.
Well, I know, but it hits us in the pocketbook, and this isn't going to play out well for President Trump at the midterms if we don't get the fuel costs down and our cost of living, our everyday cost of living. It's not
The
going to
fuel
help him.
prices are coming down. Maybe not quite as quickly as we would like to see it.
But that's what I mean. He's got a very short window to get them
Well,
down
and that's
to.
the problem is these people, they jack up the prices in a hurry, but they sure take their sweet time to lower them.
I see, and this is you. See, normally I'm the optimistic one.
I know, and you always tell me to be
you're the
that.
pessimist. And in this case, I'm probably more of the pessimist than what you are.
Right.
Because you think there's a golden egg coming at the end of this. And
Well, I don't necessarily
and
think that.
that everything's going to be fine.
I'm just looking up something really
Oh,
quick.
well, you go ahead and look. But so, none of us know. I don't think they've released like a real official document that says this is the memorandum of understanding. I think there are some. What were you going to read something, Red?
Yeah. So they, like the crude oil per barrel. I don't recall what it was when it was at its highest because I guess I never really looked it up, but it's break time. Today it is at 75 a barrel, and that I've seen compared to the $2. I think it was 2 something at the pump was around this exact same price. So why isn't it down? Go ahead.
Well, we're at our break, Red, and I'm seeing some funky things happening with our internet, Red, as I'm looking at the meter there. So we might not make it through the entire half hour.
Do you want me to go inside?
Red, tonight, I'm anxious to hear, and I know this is break time, but I'm anxious because I know the Secretary of State's had their debate that I wanted to go to tonight. If I had known that the internet, that if I had thought for a second that it wasn't going to hang with us, I would have gone, because the candidate forum is taking place just 5 miles north of here. Or maybe it's in Green Bay, I can't remember. But I would love to
think
hear,
it's
because
Depew.
I had some questions for Nate Polnow, and,
Oh,
and I would
absolutely.
love to have had the opportunity to talk to him.
But we wanted to do the show.
We wanted to meet, and we were hoping...
There'll be other opportunities.
Yes, there will.
So, I don't know what AJ's subject is tomorrow night. I didn't get a chance to ask him.
I didn't talk to him. I don't think he wanted to talk to me because he knew that I was like
Ornery?
crazy ornery today, so he didn't want to talk to me. So I don't know what his topic is, but he will be on tomorrow night, Rippin' Rabbit Hole live at 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Central, as all shows are.
Yes.
And then don't forget Sundays, 10:30 a.m. backstage only. That's not recorded. It's not broadcast. It is a 2 or more gathering in the backstage only. And we are on John. And if I remember correctly, this week it
10.
will be John 10.
I believe so.
And it's truly amazing to sit and have that fellowship.
It really is, and we hope that people can come back and join us. If you're sitting around on Father's Day morning and you don't have a church that you attend, there's a great opportunity for some fellowship. So come and join us on Father's Day. It is Father's Day this weekend. You have
Yes,
any big
it
plans
is.
for me for the weekend?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
We are going up to my daughter's house because they invited us up for a cookout.
So I don't have to cook.
No,
That will be my son-in-law who will be cooking.
yes. And I asked what we could bring, and they said nothing.
Wow.
Well, she said bring her Norwex, but that's besides the
They
point.
must have hit the jackpot or something. That we didn't have to bring anything.
Right. Anyway, so if you don't have any plans,
Should we put the address out there? They can come join us?
No.
You think Lorna and Chad would be happy with us?
they would really be mad. But I'm saying in the morning at 10:30 in the morning, if you don't have any plans, come on in to the backstage and join us for fellowship. And trust me, it has been absolutely amazing in how we can put each week it's something different. Well, obviously it's something different, but we can pinpoint what it feels like in today's world and what we're going through right now. And it's truly amazing to see. You have to come back sometime just to at least experience it, because it's like, wow, I never thought of it that way.
And I need it, and I'm definitely going to need it. I'm going to need
Oh,
some
yeah.
Bible study tomorrow morning, or maybe after this show tonight, just because of the day I've had.
Absolutely.
All right. What is going on? The music just keeps going on and on.
Did you forget to take it off a loop? No, I'm just kidding. Average price of crude oil, if you can get to that music and shut it off.
Go ahead, right?
Sorry. In 2022, the average price per barrel. Let's
We don't want to go back to
see.
2022. That was Joe Biden.
Exactly. So March 8th of 2022, it was at $123 a barrel. And you remember the gas prices then,
Yeah.
right? And today it is at 73. Or I'm sorry, 75. $75 a barrel. That's quite a bit less. So why are the price of fuel not coming down quicker?
I don't know. I'm not happy about it, but there. When I think about this Iran war, and did we meet the objectives? If our sole purpose was to prevent Iran from having nuclear weapons, well, go ahead. You are hung up on the fuel.
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, but I am. So back in 2019, when the price was like what, $1.99 a gallon or around there. Let's see, the highest price at that time in 2019. So like I said, remember what it was like back then and what it is today. We're only $10 off. Well, $9 technically. So the price should be way less than what it is at the pump. Okay, you can go on now. I'm done looking up the fuel.
I lost my train of thought.
Inventories are still low, Harry says.
And they are. See, this is where you and I disagree, because you see, I think our reserves are very low, and it begs the question. I know exports were up higher than they had ever been, and I want to know why we were exporting oil, why we were not
Well, yeah, I
filling
agree.
our reserves.
But at that time, when you were asking me that, that's when Trump said that our reserves were fine, that they were restocked because of Venezuela. So Trump lied to us. I don't know.
Well, I'm thinking right now our reserves are low. I'm not talking about then.
Okay.
But in any event, if our goal was to prevent Iran from having nuclear weapons, we were probably semi-successful in reaching our objectives, right? I don't think they
I
have that
believe
ability
that
right
we
now.
were successful, but
I think that memorandum of understanding, and there's a long way to go. We have 60 days. I understand, with this memorandum of understanding, to come to a real definitive peace plan.
right. No.
Because I heard Trump yesterday saying that, well, if anything happens, I'll drop bombs right on their damn heads.
Yep. Yeah, I did hear that. And let's see.
So it may not be done, but it.
Well, according to Fox News Live, U.S.-Iran deal takes immediate effect. Nuclear talks ongoing after Trump signs the MOU.
Yes, the memorandum, but I don't, a memorandum of understanding. I'm not sure that that's a peace deal.
No, I don't think it is. But I'm just saying that he wants it to take effect immediately.
So if our only goal was to prevent nuclear weapons, did we reach our goal? We probably did, but at what cost? Because I dollars to help rebuild Iran. We went over there and dropped billions of dollars in bombs and whatever, and in 13 American lives.
And what bothers me about that, several things actually. Yeah, we want these people to not have nuclear weapons, okay? But when we were attacked, we know the truth. But when we were attacked on 9/11, who came to our aid and gave us money to rebuild anything? Which technically it's a different scenario, because you're talking more landscape that they destroyed. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't hear any other country come to our aid. Maybe I'm wrong and just don't remember.
They're probably laughing at us because George Bush was the one who did it.
Okay. That's true. Yep.
I mean,
you're right. 9/11 was a false flag, but a lot of people still don't believe that. So that's why I was trying to put it gently.
Do you think the European countries were sitting there going,
Huh.
what? we're going to send money. George Bush took out the World Trade Centers, or George Bush and his cronies. It wasn't just George Bush, but
It was the cabal.
uh,
But yeah, so we're going to destroy their country to get rid of the nuclear weapons, but yet now we're going to give them money to rebuild it. That's my point, is why should we rebuild it?
I agree, and you know, we're gonna switch gears. Nan does have her hand raised, and I recognize that. Nan, we're gonna give you the floor in just a second. Harry put code X911, and I did watch it because Harry told me about this.
Oh, I didn't
So
watch
I
that one, did
highly
I?
recommend it. No, you were mad at me,
Oh.
and
I was mad at you.
no, you weren't mad at. I'm
I was
kidding.
gonna
I'm kidding,
say,
Red. You
what?
weren't mad at me, but I watched it.
I was probably
You
when I
were
was
you
doing
were
my
probably
jewelry.
working. I had you on the clock, and I said,
Yeah.
you get
He's
your
a
work
slave driver.
get your work
Just
done
kidding.
before you punch out. I'm gonna go watch Code X911.
Okay, I'll have to watch it. Anyway,
But I highly recommend it. And we're switching gears a little bit, but I highly recommend it.
okay.
Uh,
Nan has her hand up. Go ahead, Nan.
Go ahead, Nan.
What did you say just before you went to the code X 911?
Why should we
Whatever you were
rebuild?
talking about.
Why should we give them money to rebuild?
You know, we've heard this crazy number, and I wasn't
Okay.
able to verify it.
Yeah, but we're not giving them money to rebuild. From what my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, but my understanding is that the other Arab countries are going to help them rebuild because they're investing in Iran for the oil. That
Okay, and
the United States will not be sending them money to rebuild.
okay, and if that's right, I can live with a little bit. If the other Arab countries are ponying up the money to assist in rebuilding Iran, or helping them out, I would have less of a problem than if it's coming out of our tax dollars when there's so much needed here. So
Well, it says United States is not directly giving taxpayer money to Iran to rebuild. A newly proposed U.S.-Iran agreement outlines a $300 billion reconstruction package. The specific mechanics of how this functions include, and then you have to click on the article.
all right, well
The money we have frozen, of their money that we have frozen,
Okay.
and that's what they'll get back. That's my understanding. I could be totally wrong, but that's how I understand it.
So Nan, what are your thoughts when President Trump made the decision to enter into this conflict with Iran? I mean, clearly initially it was he didn't want them to have nuclear weapons. Do you think it was all worth it at the end of the day? Do you think it will be helpful and toward a goal of peace moving forward? I mean, do you think that's going to happen?
I don't know. We've been at war with them as long as my husband and I have been at war with each other. You know, we got married the same year this started.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just think all the presidents before have just passed it down the line, and he finally did something. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. Some of my closest people don't agree with me, but I think somebody had to do something at some point because they're funding terror. That's my biggest problem with them, not the nukes, because I don't think they can get them here, but maybe they can. I'm not in on all the secret stuff, but I think it's really scary, the funding that they give to all these terror groups, and this needs to be stopped. So
Nan, now
terribly sorry
Go ahead.
people lost their lives that are American citizens. This shouldn't have happened. But I'm between a rock and a hard place. I mean, I can go either way, but
Well, you know
I don't know.
what I've been hearing for the last, I don't even know how many years it's been now, is there's always casualties of war. So, yeah, of course, we don't like to hear lives lost, period. And I absolutely hate when I hear casualties of war, especially when a person doesn't know they're in war. But that's kind of on a different subject, I guess. But I hear that all the time, and it drives me nuts.
And I'm with you, Nan. I think on a lot of the things you said. Flippin' Rippin' Rob, another Trust the Planner, is on the line. Go ahead, go ahead, Rob. You have the floor.
How you guys doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Sorry, good. Sorry, I joined late. Had a late dinner. I was just going to add, I was listening to Benny Johnson today, and he had a clip from Trump, and I quote, will not give a dime to Iran.
Good.
So I've also heard
that makes me feel better that you and Nan both have said that it's
Yes.
not coming from our pockets. And so go ahead and continue, Rob.
So to add to what Nan was saying, she is right that assets and everything was frozen. That will be unfrozen. I mean, if you look at the Strait of Hormuz, that was a major financial clampdown and noose, and they now realize that they didn't have the enforcement that they could to keep that open, and we took it over. And I believe there's going to be humanitarian efforts and everything, and other countries do want to invest in that country, like Nan was saying. And I think that kind of comes back to what I originally said years ago, that I heard a conspiracy theory that once peace worldwide, then equal commerce will open up worldwide, and each region or country is known for some type of resource, whether it's cobalt, copper, oil, you name it, silver, that it will level the market out, and everything will be traded on a more even basis and not have such a stronghold and a noose around our neck. And I think that's ideally, if there's any white hats in Iran, that's what they want. They want to be recognized. They want to be respected, just like any other country. But you can't, respect is earned, not forced.
Yep.
And the only way they're going to be recognized as a power, or, in the market, is by not being so radical and shoving their beliefs on us. And I believe there's a lot of black cats. I believe there's a lot of bad Muslims that have given them a bad name, that we're now going to give them a chance to prove themselves. If this is what you want peace, you want commerce, you want to flourish, well then here it is. This is on the table now.
Well, I hope you're right, Rob. So I do want to ask you, Rob, and anybody else who wants to chime in, do you think, so we're June 18th right now, is there enough time with this memorandum of understanding and this 60-day window to really come to a firm agreement and get everything settled? Is there time between now and November at the midterms to bring our fuel prices back in line and start seeing some of the cost of living that we've seen, jump through the
start
atmosphere,
to take place,
start coming down so that this doesn't impact President Trump at the midterms?
I will make a prediction right now with everybody back here as my witness. I would say within the next month to 3 months, within a month before the 4th of July, you're going to see a big change. 3 months, another change, and leading up to November, even more changes. You're going to see this market turn around, because If you look at what happened with Venezuela,
Hmm.
it wasn't just going in and liberating them. It was also about election fraud and how the same systems that we have in place with Dominion, that guy is rolling over, showing us how the cheating and fraud happened. So, and look at how many billions of dollars worth of oil was seized that now is going to be out there on the market for commerce. And now you're opening up the Straits of Hormuz. And now look at what China is doing. China is going to have commerce with us, not them. Where have you ever heard of that before? There is going to be peace worldwide. And I believe wholeheartedly this was one giant plan that we weren't privy to. And we had to trust and have faith that things will turn around. They have to now at this point because there's no more threats. They are getting a handle on the market. They are going to do away with the Federal Reserve banking system, and the world as a whole will have equal trading, and that is going to turn us all around. I really believe we're going to be back under $2 within, I would say, 3 months.
I hope you're right. I really do. And like, I'm in uncharted waters here because, like I said, it might have been before you jumped in. I've always been the optimist in our house, and
Hmm.
and Red has been the pessimist.
And it's just the opposite right now.
And right now it's kind of the opposite of that because I'm so skeptical, and like, Red is full on trust the plan.
Well, I'm not full on.
And
Don't put it
and
that way.
Screech is out on
I
a
still
branch.
have that little
Screech is out on a
what
branch
if.
trying to get that view from 10,000 feet going. I'm not so sure about all this.
Well,
Well, when you don't have a crystal ball, you're going to have your doubts. You're going to have, you know, that's human nature. But now, if you kind of look back and how everything has chronologically happened, renaming the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, and then Venezuela got taken, and or not taken, but liberated, and we started seeing how that was all changing. Now, Iran had to happen, plain and simple.
hmm
You can't have a radical country like that with the beliefs and structure that they have in place. You can't have it. You cannot have this giant plan when they could mess us up at any given point in time because of their radical beliefs.
So do you
And so
think
now,
do you think there's leadership in place right now in Iran, Rob, that we don't have to worry about the radicals that we've come to know Iran as being, and that the minute we unfreeze assets and we do all the things that, we stop the bombing, do you think there's leadership in place that will maintain that level of sanity moving forward?
well, once again, until they find somebody that will cooperate, they'll just keep getting taken out. Look what happened in Venezuela. They tried it at the beginning with Iran when this all tricked off. All these leaders, I think they were draining the swamp over there. All right, they wanted to test it, and they found out, that FAFO.
I was just going to say
And
that.
I believe that, okay, the country needs proper representation and leadership, and they're going to drain that swamp over there until they find what is needed for that country to flourish and for peace with us and everybody else worldwide.
Oh, I sure hope you're right, and
I was going to
Red
say,
was going to say something.
yeah, do you also think that maybe we went into Iran to try to recover some of the money that mm, Obama kind of slid over to Iran?
The 1.7 billion
Thank
and
you.
then some.
Yeah, do you think that
Yeah.
They tried to
Um,
recover some of that?
well, with the economy changing, and if Lloyd was back here, he would definitely be chiming in and adding to that question. Um, that 1.7 billion is a lost thing
Mm,
that Trump can earn that within a month with the commerce that they have that they want to set up, and with the other countries that are going to invest back into Iran, like what Nan was saying, that'll all be recouped. That
And, and so I need to make a point that we had a comment in the backstage that Iran are mostly Persians, crazy Islamics who run the country, and that's my fear that if we back off now and we say, okay, we've got this memorandum of understanding and we're going to stop bombing you, that they're just going to reload and be ready to come at
oh, Trump
the death to
Trump
U.S.
addressed that also today.
oh, did he?
He all Yeah, oh yeah, when he said not giving a dime, he also turned around and made it very well known that if you guys don't adhere to what you guys are signing, I got no problem going back on over there and bombing everything
I know that might have been the
until.
one where he said he'll drop bombs on their heads. I did hear
Yeah.
did hear that remark.
Yep, we did.
Have to trust the plan, Red.
Well, like somebody said, to have faith in God,
Well, of course, yes,
it right away.
that's
But
who are always telling me and throwing
trust the
shots
plan.
at me. Trust the plan, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been in this fight, Red, and we're still doesn't end up in a kettle.
Oh, shut up about the dang kettle.
And
Uh,
I'm right and
uh,
I'm right there with you guys on that, because I've been saying this for years and years and years, and some people will question me about, well, where's that plan, and people get optimistic, and, well, the gas prices went up. Well, everybody's complaining that the gas prices went up, but you know what? They're not as bad as when Biden was in office. So went up, but you know what? They're not as bad as when Biden was in office. So can we just let this play out for a bit? Can we just take a step, do some reflection on that? A lot is just going to turn our hands, and that fight has to continue. And like you guys say, and in the show, we got a republic to save. We have a country to save. And then you have to, when you're having that talk with God one on one, you have to have a talk with yourself and reflect back on what has transpired in the last year and say, okay, you know what? I didn't understand it at this point, but now I'm looking back and reflecting. Okay, it's starting to make a little more sense. Okay, there's some pushback. Okay, yep. Of course, these countries are going to push back. Of course, this is going to happen. Of course, there's going to be bad media, because the never Trumpers, and the Trump derangement syndrome, they're not going to report the actual facts in the news.
Nope.
They're not going to give a chronological order from day in office from day one, on how many hundreds of days now he's been in office.
so
There
I,
has been a lot of accomplishments.
I agree with you. There have been a lot of accomplishments. I think my concern is Red's making faces at me.
Because I was going to say, piggybacking off of what Rob was saying,
the majorities that we have now, and if that happens, then we're looking at impeachments every other week, and all the BS. Nothing is going to get accomplished, and
I will say, RJ says, no fear. It is under control. I trust Trump.
and RJ is one of those friends who's in my ear saying, "Trust the plan."
Yes.
And they all just live life so they put their toes in the sand and they do some grounding and
Speaking of toes in the sand, though, that's going to be another show because of what we discovered in that sand. Wow.
Red dropped a magnetic bracelet in the sand.
Well, no, I purposely put it down there
In the
because
beautiful stretch of beach along Lake Michigan, and when she pulled it out, there's all this
black,
we were told it was graphene.
Yeah.
That's in the sand. This beautiful stretch of sand beach.
Until you put a magnet in it.
There was so much of that crap on that magnet. It was
gosh.
crazy. It really was.
So sorry to get off subject,
No,
but I
because
just remembered about that.
We're at the end of the hour. I have to learn to trust the plan. But I want to see some things happen here on our home front. I want to save America. We need our elections fixed.
Well, mind you, what we said last night. Trump said he's not going to sign that FISA bill or whatever it was called until Save America Act is put in that bill.
Otherwise,
he's
we'll
not
see.
signing it.
Time is running out for the Save America Act to impact the midterms. I can assure you of that. And I guess we always have the fallback, Red. We can always go on TikTok and make really stupid videos and have all kinds of people watching us and throwing us a couple cents.
Yeah,
help
we'll
us pay
have
for our
to.
gas.
Oh yeah, we'll have to get that wall or whatever painted so they can watch the
And
paint
we are
dry.
going to do that. We're between now and next week's show. We're going to do that. We're going to see how many people join
Watch.
us live to watch paint dry.
Yep, absolutely.
Red, we're up against the hour.
Yes,
We
we
made
are.
it. The internet didn't croak on us.
Actually, I think it might have because I've seen that the screen share went blank for a little bit.
So maybe it did. Maybe we just made it.
I hope
But
so.
the music is playing, so that means we have about a minute to update anything that we need to before we go up air, Red. AJ the Rippin' Rabbit will be in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central, as all shows on Rippin' Rabbit Hole start at 8. With another episode of Rippin' Rabbit Hole Live. Come and join us. We'll be in the backstage because we're always in the backstage
Absolutely,
and having some fun listening to AJ's show.
absolutely. He always puts on amazing shows. So I just wish I would know what the topic was tonight. Anyway,
But we don't.
that's where you have faith.
the
Sundays,
plan.
yes, trust the plan. Sundays, 10:30 a.m. backstage only. Does not get recorded. Does not get broadcast. Come back and join us for some awesome fellowship and for the 2 or more gathering. We are on John 10 this week. Trust me, if you come back and listen, join in, learn, you're going to be pretty amazed on how it affects certain people's lives differently every week. At least back here.
And
We've learned.
And speaking of prayer, I want to, for the people that put Christine in your prayers last night, I want to say our friend of the network, someone who's back here often, was hospitalized the other night and was actually in ICU.
Yes.
And it sounds like Christine may be released tomorrow, we
Yes.
think. So keep the prayers coming, though, but prayer works. And
Absolutely, it does. And then we'll be back next Wednesday and Thursday. We the People Wednesday, Tin Hat Thursday, 8
And next-
p.m. Central.
next week, we're going to have a couple of really good guests. I know we are.
Yes, yes, we are.
So come back and join us. I know it's campfire season, but you
Sit
know,
around the campfire
yeah,
and put on your
you can always
speakers.
turn it on a speaker and
And
sit around
everybody
the fire.
around the campfire can listen
That's right.
or join in.
And maybe, Fred, now that we'll have the laptop
Oh, yeah.
all set up, maybe we could sit around the fire. We can have a fire show.
Or
That
travel.
would be fun. Or travel. All right, Red, it's time. We're going to stop wasting people's time because...
We have a republic to save.
Good night, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Good night.